the main basin of Gloucester docks, with warehouses standing on the west quay. The tall chimney belonged to the pumping station that extracted water from the River Severn a few yards away and pumped it into the docks to maintain the water level. The city flour mill, Gloucester Docks. It was here that imported grain was milled into flour, which was blown along pipes to be stored either in barges moored in the adjacent Victoria Dock or in the warehouse on the left, a lorry at the loading bay of the city flour mills. The commercial road entrance to the docks. The Gloucester and Sharpness Canal links Gloucester with the open sea. Opened in 1827, it's 16 miles long and bypasses the treacherous sandbanks of the River Severn, regularly used for recreation by local people. Barton Fair, the Oxleys. The fair was traditionally held on the last Saturday in September. It began life as a medieval pig fair, held just outside the east gate of the city. It later became a cheese and mop or hiring fair, but by the late 19th century, showmen in large numbers turned up for the occasion, and as a result, the duration of the fair was extended. Due to the increase in its size, the site was moved to the Oxleys just west of Westgate Bridge. The fair drew large crowds of people from a wide catchment area, and at the weekends it was frequented by many people from the Forest of Dean and South Wales, who travelled to Gloucester on special coach trips. Morland's Match Factory, Bristol Road. Morland's began manufacturing matches in Gloucester in 1867 at premises adjoining the Gloucester and Sharpness Canal. They moved into the new factory in Bristol Road in 1919, where they installed the first continuous automatic matchmaking machinery. Among the many brand labels Morland's produced, the most famous was England's Glory. This patriotic label depicts the Royal Navy's iron turret battleship, HMS Devastation. Gloucester Railway Carriage and Wagon Company, Bristol Road. It was set up by a group of businessmen who considered Gloucester the most suitable place for their works, being at the intersection of major roads and railways. Throughout its history, it made rolling stock for many railways throughout the world and operated a wagon repair facility which at its height handled 15,000 railway vehicles a week. Carriages for London Transport. The company made many such vehicles for the underground system. W.S. Barron & Son Limited, Bristol Road. This engineering firm was established in the Kingsholm area of the city in 1903. It moved into new premises in Bristol Road in 1934. Its main specialist line was the manufacture of mill plant for the mixing of dry foodstuffs for the agricultural industry. The foundry. Men working here are carrying on an age-old tradition of Gloucester. Rotol Air Screws Limited, Staverton. This company was set up by the Bristol Aeroplane Company and Rolls-Royce in 1937 to develop and manufacture variable pitch propellers. Gloucester was chosen as a convenient site as it was easily accessible from both Bristol and Derby. Propeller castings are waiting machining. Assembly and balancing of propeller units and hubs. Finished units awaiting packing and dispatch. A.W. Hawksley Limited. The company was formed at Brockworth Airfield in 1940 to build aircraft for World War II. After war production ceased, it quickly readjusted to peacetime production, and the factory prefabricated houses and bungalows for the Ministry of Supply. The main road through the factory looking east. The timber shop, manufacturing frames and roof trusses for prefab homes. Although the prefab units were sent to various parts of the world, many were used nearer to home, notably on the Tuffley Court estate on the southern outskirts of the city, and also just a few hundred yards from the factory at Brockworth. The Gloucester Aircraft Company Limited, Hucklecote. The company established itself on the Hucklecote airfield of the Air Board Acceptance Park during the 1920s to build a wide range of military aircraft. Among the many famous types of aircraft it produced were the Gamecock, Gauntlet and the Gladiator, which was the last biplane in service with the Royal Air Force. The most notable development at the company was the production of the first British jet, the E-28-39, which left the ground during taxiing trials here in 1941. This aircraft led eventually to the first production British jet fighter, the Gloucester Meteor, the prototype of which flew in 1943. Moving on a decade with film produced in the 1950s, and once again giving us vivid glimpses of the city in that era. Westgate Street, south side, looking towards the cross. The cross looking towards Eastgate Street, with the Church of St. Michael on the right. The main body of the church was taken down in 1956, leaving only the tower standing as a major landmark. Southgate Street from the cross, with the Bell Hotel above the lorry. The clock above Baker's the Jewellers in Southgate Street. Built in 1904, with Father Time and figures representing England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Northgate Street. King's Square, looking towards the Central Post Office, which was opened in 1934. King's Square bus station on the north side of the square. The city buses had stops on the south side of the square around the car park. The north side had an area set aside for the country services. The Gloucester Railway Carriage and Wagon Works, the main office block in Bristol Road. The main works entrance, finishing time at the end of a shift. In this era, most workers cycled to work, causing their own peculiar traffic hazards. St Mary's Street, medieval cottages with the Pelican Inn at the far end.